It's a freaking
you got a picture of it, right?
I got a
freebie
freebie
right here, right?
Oh my god, that would be the best thing ever. No, but you use that, you might be buying a girl a diamond ring. All right, so we are in Amsterdam, not the one in Europe, and we are at one of the most magical places in New York. It is North Chuctanuna Creek. But just for reference, we're here on a day where it's been raining for hours, and we're gonna show you how dry it is. It takes a lot to get this going. Usually, it's a biblical flood or the last week in February. That seems to be the magic time to see this go. Fun fact, the only people who ever seem to notice that you're running the river are the kids on this swing set as you're going by. It's amazing how oblivious people are. So this might be the most insane urban creeking trip most people will ever do. There's quite a bit of urban whitewater in the East Coast of America, but I've never seen anything that compares to North Chucky. So strap in, this one is absolutely amazing. So for starters, North Chucky does not have a good gauge. It is very hard to catch. Basically, this one always seems to go on my birthday. Last week of February, it usually delivers. That big thaw, warm, one day where it pops up, that is your best chance to get it. Otherwise, you are relying on a truly huge rainfall. If that happens and this is blown out, go to Timmerman. That might be running as well. If you can catch that, that is the ride of a lifetime. Before you put on to North Chucky, one of the best things that you can do is use your smartphone. Mobile devices are strongly encouraged on this run because it's one of the best ways to keep your head on straight. Drive up, crisscross the river everywhere there's a bridge, and get a good look at what's coming. Any amount of beta is a good thing, and it can really save some bad trips. The other thing I would do is I would pull up the AW page. I wrote that description. It is good. It is accurate. Use it. You will notice it goes bridge by bridge. So you can figure out what you're going to see when you get to the next bridge, and then you can read the description to the next bridge and kind of hopscotch your way down. There are mandatory portages. There are things that you would absolutely break your back on if you don't know exactly where you are. So use that description, not just this video. Now then, the put-in. So use AW point, it's good. The put-in is super heavily vegetated, so just put in one at a time, zip down to the first eddy, it's on your left around the first turn. Once you regroup, you're gonna be in a class 2 entrance until you hit a small little backed up pond thing behind the first drop. The first drop is a broken dam. If you were able to scout it on the way up, that's awesome. It's sort of behind this little park thing. Otherwise, you may or may not be able to scout. I usually just take a good look for branches and boof dead center out, going towards the left. There's a great eddy on the left. It's kind of the only good place to hang out. And then you can tell everybody behind you what's going on. Going right off this drop is definitely a bad idea because there's a bunch of rebar. From here, scoot your way down, pay attention to the description. As you come around a corner, you're gonna notice that you're suddenly behind a bunch of baseball fields. This is a really good time to be very careful. Depending on the level, it can be a little hard to get out in time, but there is a terrible little impoundment dam. It's only 2 feet high, but it makes a stack of incredible lowheads. So you're either gonna have to boof over, which may or may not be possible, or you're gonna have to kind of like ride these concrete divider things down, or walk it. It's one of the sketchiest, stupidest little features I've ever seen. Boogie, boogie, boogie. You are gonna know before you make it to the next drop because it's gonna be another broken dam with a tiny pond behind it. When you come around the corner and find yourself at that broken dam, you're going to see the old intake on the left. Don't go near it. Go to the right and jump up and over. You're going to scoot back in, do a big ferry move, and then peel out, slamming down center, going through. This little rapid runs longer than you usually think it does, so take a good hard look downstream, make sure you can see an eddy, and that's where you can wait for people to catch up with you. If you haven't figured out yet, you really don't want to take more than 4 people on a trip. From here, you're now leaving the suburbs and you're gonna start entering the city of Amsterdam. So you're gonna start seeing more and more houses, more and more buildings, and it's gonna sort of build up. You're also gonna notice some pretty wild debris in the river. You might start passing shopping carts, old metal stuff. Very important, if you don't recognize something as being natural, you might wanna stay away from it, because I've definitely seen boats and gear split wide open on random bits of metal in this river. So continue to work your way downstream, use my description, go bridge to bridge. Eventually though, there will be a bit of a surprise. As you come around one corner, you will see a bridge in the distance and a long rapid running right to it and under it. Gear up, because this is a super important one. You want to catch the little boof, stay center, and either get high left and boof off to the left, or get high right and boof out on the right. This is one of those bridges you definitely want to have checked beforehand. Once you're in, catch the eddy on the right until everybody is through. From there, you're gonna ferry all the way over to the left and look for a little nook in the wall where you can get out and climb out. You're gonna portage on river left around the next 2 drops. The first drop is an unbelievably lethal, frowny hole, semicircular low head dam. It is absolutely terrifying at the right levels. The second one is just a drop, but if you've ever seen it dry, it's full of rebar and metal and broken rocks and concrete. So even though it sometimes looks like there could be a line in there to boof out, I've never seen it in such a way where you weren't gonna break your boat. Just downstream of this second unrunnable drop is a old factory. So set your boat down, go take a quick look. You want to make sure there are no trees or anything jamming up the channel. I've seen it jammed by trees, old spools of wire, all sorts of stuff. If you also want to take a little peeky weeky, all of the guts of the factory are still there. It's pretty cool. In any case, once you know that it's clear, this rapid's super straightforward. Just hey diddle diddle underneath the factory. What you're really looking for, what you're scouting, is what's just downstream. Just downstream, there's a stack of old concrete pylons, and these are practically designed to hold wood. So if it's clear, you're all good. But when something does go in there, it can take a year or 2 to clear out. So be very careful that there isn't a tree jamming the river downstream. From here, just go back into boogie mode. Keep your head on a swivel. You are urban kayaking, anything could happen. But your next major drop is gonna be behind a dam. When you get to it, get out on river right, and you can do a really good scout, but I run it from river left. If it's low enough, you can actually walk all the way out into the center of this run. There's a little bit of an island that you can get in your boat and then seal launch in. If it's higher, you're gonna have to get in your boat all the way on the right and kind of butt scoot until you're in flow. Either way, the line is left of center. There's one good boof about a third of the way down. It skips through, there's another good boof, and then it slides all the way out. This used to be walked a lot for some reason. If someone decides to walk it, that's their loss. It's an absolutely fantastic little rapid, and it tees you up for what's coming next. Under here, there's a lot of really high-class boogie as you start to fall through town. As the gradient picks up and the boogie gets better and better, your eddies are going to completely vanish. So just try to keep your head on a swivel, make sure there's nothing coming by way of a strainer. After a little while, the water is going to basically go slack, and you're going to see a large kind of bowled out eddy on the left and a huge concrete bridge over to the right. If you've been counting your bridges, you know what's next, and that's about a 40-foot unrunnable drop that lands on a rock pile. This is by far the biggest portage of the day, and it's really not a bad one. Grab your boat, jump up, and you're gonna go to your left, around the fence, through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. Keep your eyes open, you might find a sex toy, I certainly did. And then you're gonna go down through an old mill to get back into the river. You are now in the absolute crux. This is where the rubber hits the road, the absolute money starts. If you are just gonna go and run the goods, this is where I would put in. Boogieing down, you're going to come to your first drop. This is located directly behind the Service Master office. It is a Pretty good hole most of the time that's easily boofed, but it can back up on the left side. So I boof a little bit right of center and try to get a good amount of speed going out into the right along the wall. You're now going to V-drive through a couple different holes. Some of them have a lot of power at certain levels before you go under the next little bridge. Catch your breath because it's about to start getting real. From here, you are going to go quickly into a bunch of shallow slides, usually ending in V-drive holes. Just follow the water. Do not try to catch any eddies. There's rebar you can't see most of the time that you try to jump up into an eddy from old impoundments. This is a great place to split your boat wide open if you get out of the flow. You're going to go under a bunch of bridges and then watch on your right. You're going to see the top of that swing set from the beginning of this video. Get ready to grab a big boof and sort of have a chundery landing. And then again, follow the water and try to go fast. You want to skip through as many holes as you can. I'm usually center left. That seems to be where all the flow is. And just enjoy the ride. From here, you're going to go under one or two more bridges, and then you're going to find yourself in the slack at your takeout tree. Do not miss the eddy for that takeout tree. Make sure that no one else misses the eddy for that takeout tree. And here's why. Just downstream of the tree, the entire river goes underground. It goes underground for, I think, 150 yards. And in the middle of that, there's a hole at Big Water. People have swam. They have had to climb out of manholes. It's been a thing. If you do decide to run the tunnel, it does go as long as it's not super high. There's just no way of knowing what's going on in there. Be ready, be going fast, and be aware that right when you see sunlight on the other side, there is another little drop, and then you're gonna land in the Mohawk River. So if you wanna run it, you're gonna take out in a little park just downstream of the huge overhead bridge on river left of the Mohawk. Read the description I put on AW. That is going to be your Bible coming down. It is the only way to really know where you are and stay safe. Make sure you have a solid crew, a relatively small crew, and you fly a bit of a low profile. The local authorities, the police, the fire department have been amazing about kayakers in the past. Don't ruin it for everyone else. All right, here we are. This is the takeout. Yes, it is literally the City of Amsterdam USPS office. And not only that, it's in the no parking zone right next to their warehouse. But that's how you find the magical takeout tree. You are going to climb this to get out of the river. Also, if you're here and the Mohawk is Richter high, go check out the Upper Cohoes waves, especially 15.5 and above. It is incredible. At 18, it is world class. Definitely some sketchiness to get to those, but oh, so worth it. Oh, and this is an absolute no swim zone. No swims are allowed in the last rapid, especially it has happened. The boat went all the way down the Mohawk. It was completely destroyed. You do not want to swim on the last rapid for any reason. If you're not feeling it, get out. Do not put in again after Dunkin' Donuts. Enjoy it, guys. I hope you catch it.